Hello everybody. Today, we'll be discussing the real meaning behind the stories of the Alchemist, the similarities you find between stories of Jesus and the Alchemist, and how we can use the principles of alchemy to manifest our desires. In the end, we will examine a story told by Neville Goddard where a manifestation was attained with the exact techniques of an alchemist. First, let's explore the alchemist's quest to turn lead into gold. Why lead? Why not create gold or something else entirely? It's believed that lead was chosen because it represents the base, impure elements of life. The alchemist's mission was to transform something ordinary and seemingly worthless into something valuable and precious. This concept can be applied to our own lives and manifest our desires. Before we begin, a reminder to hit the subscribe, notification and the like buttons, which will be greatly appreciated. Speaking of transformation, let's take a look at the stories of Jesus in the Bible. Why did he turn water into wine at the wedding in Cana? Why did he multiply the food instead of creating new food? It's believed that these stories represent the power of transformation and the abundance of the universe. Jesus didn't create new wine or food, he transformed what was already present into something greater. You see, the reason for this is that you often need a point of focus. The water at the wedding and food that the kid had were all points of focus for Jesus. By focusing on something and being grateful for it, you are able to channel the energy more specifically towards what you are focusing on. That is why the saying goes, where focus goes, energy flows. Once the energy flows towards something, that thing multiplies. Let's break this method down even further. You can direct your energy by using two components, thought and emotion. As for thought, you can imagine or observe something. While you imagine or observe something, regardless of whether it is from the past, present or future, you will experience some type of emotion. According to Abraham Hicks, all emotions can be divided into two categories, one that feels good and another that feels bad. Your perspective on your thought or observation is literally changing the material world. Hence, the saying goes, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Your emotions are your personal guidance system. If you feel good in the way you are thinking or observing something, that means you are affecting the matter in a way that is desirable to you. If you feel bad, then it's the other way around. Let's break the process even further by examining what Jesus did. Jesus at first saw that he had 5,000 people to feed. When he looked for food, a boy supplied him with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes. Instead of saying, "Oh no, how am I gonna feed 5,000 people with 5 breads and 2 fishes, he said, "Thanks." His thought process may have been something like this: "Thank God I have 5 breads and 2 fishes. God has supplied this food out of nowhere. If he can do that, he can give me way more to feed 5,000 people, as his supply is unlimited. I am grateful that it is so." He used the 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes as a focus point. From there, he generated thoughts that would feel abundant to him. Hence, the food started to multiply. And that is exactly the way of the alchemist. Same process was applied for turning water to wine at the wedding. Jesus asked some of the people at the wedding to fill the water pots with water to brim. A full water pot that was made of stone made it easier for Jesus to focus. The water pots now felt very close to the desired reality, which is that they are filled with wine. The water pots were filled up and heavy, very close to how it would feel if the water pots were filled with wine. Then his thought may have been, "I am grateful for the full water pots, and it can surely contain wine with the help of infinite intelligence, which is God." And sure enough, the water turned into wine. Now there is a very important point to note. These miracles of Jesus may have been the results of his superior abilities due to practicing energy works, or the stories were written this way as it is easier to understand the process when said in a linear manner. What I mean by linear manner is that you can examine the cause of an effect directly from these stories. When you and I try to manifest using the way of the alchemist, we may find oftentimes, the manifestations will not look so dramatically miraculous. For example, if we used a bottle of water to manifest wine, we will manifest the wine, but it could come from a very different means, such as someone gifting it to us. However, the usage of the knowledge of alchemy is nonetheless extremely effective. Another practical example of such practice is you may look at your wallet with some money in it. You start to generate thoughts that gives you the feeling of abundance. It will most likely not be that your wallet is magically filling up right that very second that you closed the wallet and opened it again. However, it will fill up. You will start experiencing many opportunities and events that will bring money to you. Neville Goddard, one of the greatest mystical interpreters of the Bible, calls these opportunities and events bridges of incidents. Now, I will tell you a very interesting testimony of a girl as told by Neville Goddard. This story does not only highlight the process of alchemy, but I get a bit emotional every time I read this testimony. It is about a girl who on Christmas Eve transformed a situation of absolute sorrow and powerlessness to sheer joy and abundance. Here is the story as told by Neville Goddard in 1955. These were his words. Taking the streetcar home from work that first Christmas Eve, she found the car filled with young boys and girls, singing and happy, and she could not restrain the tears. Lucky for her it was raining, so she extended her face to the heavens and let the rain mingle with her tears. As she tasted the salt of her tears, she said to herself, "This is not a streetcar, but a ship, and I am not tasting my tears, but the salt of the sea in the wind." While she physically held the rail of the streetcar, she mentally touched the rail of a ship moving into Samoa. Physically tasting the salt of her tears, she imagined it was the salt of the sea. As the streetcar reached its destination, she was entering the Bay of Samoa, feeling the moonlight shining on her body and hearing a voice say, "Isn't it a heavenly night?" 2 weeks later, this girl received a check for $3,000 from a law firm in Chicago. It seems that 2 years before, her aunt had left the United States, requesting that if she did not return, the money was to be given to her niece. Within 1 month, the girl was on a ship sailing for Samoa. Coming into the bay, she saw a ship plowing through the water, leaving lovely white foam in its path. As the moonlight touched the wake, its spray touched her face, and a man standing near said, "Isn't it a heavenly night?" At that moment, her outer senses experienced what she had used her inner senses to make real. That was the end of Neville's words. Now I would like to just add one last aspect to the way of the alchemist. In every alchemist story, the alchemist never finds the philosopher's stone he is searching for. And it is because the stone was never meant to be found outside. It is already here, now and with you. Thank you for watching till the end. Please subscribe and hit the notification icon to get more law of attraction videos that are systematically broken down and analyzed. Also, leave your thoughts in the comments, and please hit the like button to help this channel grow. Until next time, happy manifesting.